It's a combination of thoughts and biography. So I was born in Norvelt. Actually, I was born in a town next door, Mount Pleasant, because that's where the hospital was. But Norvelt is where I'm from. And Norvelt was an established town built during the Depression as a result of Eleanor Roosevelt getting involved with the government and looking out across the country and seeing a lot of poor people, poor farmers and coal miners, people out of work, especially in western Pennsylvania there. And so what they wanted to do is give people dignity and build these towns so that they could feed their families and live properly. And so a town was established. And so there were 250 homes and a community factory and a community farm. And it was a real helping hand, sort of community-driven, socially minded town. It was wonderful. It was a helping hands town. And it was nice to grow up in a community like that. So you take that community, which is very pure, and then what happens when they begin to crumble? And so Norvelt, begins to get a little shabby on the edges. But also for me as a child, there was growing up there and reading about the world. I come from a speck of a town that is really just sort of under a dome. It's sort of in a vitrine, really, this community that is so lovely. But you start reading outside of it, and you start looking at the world, and you go, well, here are my values in Norvelt. I love you, you love me. And then you read a book, and then you're like, the values of the outside world don't seem exactly the same as my Norvelt values. Causes, of course, thinking about that. And then you look at your parents, and then you go, my God, they're like two completely different people. How do they manage to, get along? My father was like chasing the dollar, and my mother's like, I just want to help my neighbor. And so, this is taking place. And in the meantime, I finally found a companionate person, and that would be Miss Volker, the neighbor down the way who my mother sent me to go help. And that just really put me into motion. Because she was a reader, I was a reader, she was very history-driven, I was history-driven, and she really kind of opened the world for me in Norvelt and kind of took the top off of that vitrine and said, go on out there, see it, think about it. Your thoughts are as valuable as anybody else's.